What's up, guys? Racing Nation TV here to talk about night number 5 of the Chili Bowl Nationals. And tonight should have been probably the most tame night of the week, and it just wasn't. It was probably the craziest night of the week. So much happened right off the bat. You better have been paying attention early in the night, or else you're going to miss something crazy. So let's talk about it. Let's just get straight into it. So basically, I just want to talk about three main guys real quick. The guys who pretty much made the night, the soup runners of the night. We have Tucker Klossmeyer from the Keith Kunz stable. We have Tanner Thorson out of the Dave Mack group, and we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. from the Kloss and Marshall Racing Camp. Now these three drivers fell into trouble early, right off the bat in their heats. We had Tucker Klossmeyer, who blew up in his heat. We had Tanner Thorson, who was looking very racy in his heat. Honestly, was running second, looked very good, and the track was just way too new, way too tacky, and he kind of bicycled and just looked on edge for a couple of laps, and then he finally flipped her over, and that was trouble early in the night for a guy who I thought was probably the favorite to win it. He was probably my favorite to do very well tonight, Tanner Thorson, and the winner of Friday last year, so defending winner of the prelim night, and right off the bat in the heat, first go, he's put into the C main. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got caught up in an accident that was no fault of his own, and then that's pretty much just put them into the C main. And then they were the soup runners. They went from Klossmeyer 4th to 2nd, Thorson 5th to 3rd, and Stenhouse 6th to 4th. They transferred to the B, and the B main was what was incredible. They were all slotted into B main number 2. Number 1 was kind of nothing, and then the number 2 just had everybody. Who was everybody in it, and it just made for a heck of a show. Tucker Klossmeyer, 14th to 4th, made up 10 spots to make it into the A. Tanner Thorson went 13th to 2nd, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with pretty much drive of the night, probably the best performance, most entertaining by far, went from 16th to 1st. And so then going into the A main for the night, it's obviously exciting when you have three guys who you know are competitive starting in the back of the A, so you get to just right off the bat to start the A that those guys are going to be coming through the field, and that's going to be entertaining to watch, and it was. Those guys for sure made the race entertaining, but up at the front, meanwhile, people were kind of paying less attention to this throughout the night, but Justin Grant and Kyle Cummins pretty much had them covered. There was a chance. There were a couple yellows in the early going that kind of gave Ricky Stenhouse. Ricky Stenhouse is, the fastest of that group, but it kind of gave Ricky a chance to kind of catch up to Justin Grant. But had there been no yellows, there's no doubt in my mind that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. still would have caught all the way up like he did, but definitely Justin Grant just had him covered. We'll talk about the battle for the lead, but these guys, Tanner Thorson ended up finishing 4th for the night in the A main, 20th place starting to 4th. That was incredible. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. went 18th to 3rd. And then Tucker Klossmeyer, not as impressive at all, just 24th to 15th. He was definitely the least impressive of that group of drivers that were soup runners, but he blew a motor in his heat, and they got that thing replaced in probably 15 minutes. So that was impressive enough out of that camp. Keith Kunz, always good. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., definitely a guy. He's going to be in the B main, the first place guy out of the B main transfers. I don't know that for sure. I don't know how they line up for the B mains, but obviously finishing 3rd in the 3rd to 8th make it to the B main. I would imagine he'll be starting up near the front, obviously in the top 5, or more than that, because I almost forgot they have two mains. He'll be starting up front in his B main. So he has just a mega shot to make it in. Tanner Thorson as well. There's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. looked very quick. Heck of a drive from him. Let's get into talking about Justin Grant now. Obviously the winners of the race, Justin Grant and Kyle Cummins. Those guys Justin Grant was in another league tonight. Again, like last night, there was really Kyle Cummins was there, but Justin Grant, I can't wait until tomorrow to see what his speed is like comparable to others. He did get a good pole shuffle draw, which I'll also talk about. But I'm interested to see what his speed is compared to Christopher Bell or Kyle Larson. Going into tomorrow, I'll give some more predictions later. But yeah, I'm interested to see what his speed's going to be. But Kyle Cummins in second. There was a point in the race that there was a green flag run in the end where they caught traffic, and there were just multiple times where it looked like Justin Grant's race could have ended. And if traffic's anything like that tomorrow, we're going to see a whole heck of a lot of drama happening in the races tomorrow. Because, man, I can't believe Justin Grant survived that race. It was just so chaotic with the traffic, and so many moments where I was screaming and just, man, it was panic. And Kyle Cummins was right there the final 2 laps. Justin Grant was in another zip code, and then the final 2 laps, Kyle Cummins was right there because of traffic. So yeah, that's something we haven't really seen a long enough green flag run to where traffic was a huge was huge like it was tonight. And yeah, I really wonder if that's gonna be the same tomorrow. Obviously, the track the way it was tonight is probably gonna be somewhat more what it's like gonna be like tomorrow. You can only do so much overnight, right? And the track right now is way different than it was Monday and Tuesday. You could definitely tell that there was a transition from Tuesday to Wednesday of the track state and where they were putting the cushion and what they were doing. That's for sure, because now you can run the cushion, and on Tuesday, if you were running up top, it was way more unforgiving, and you would bicycle and you would hop in the air, and it was just easier to make mistakes. So I think tonight was probably the best representation of the track that we'll see tomorrow. And again, I'm really curious to what Justin Grant's sheer speed is going to be tomorrow. Let's talk about some more starters tonight. Aaron Reitzel was in the race. He made the A pretty easily. These are just kind of the quieter guys. He went 14th to 8th. He'll be in the B main tomorrow. Casey Kane, first start in a couple of years. He actually went backwards in his A. He went 11th and finished 14th, and he will be in the C main tomorrow. Not bad. That's obviously overcomable, but he can overcome that one. But not ideal. You want to be in the B, and that was like the last transfer for the C, so he'll be in the back of the C, I believe. So yeah, not perfect for Casey Kane. Definitely showed probably the least amount of speed out of the Matwood racing cars we've seen this week. But yeah, just to see him back in a car again was cool. Justin Allgaier had a very bad night. He wrecked in the B main. Actually spun in his heat. He had a considerably okay night going, and then he spun just running like third, and I think it was a qualifier. And then he wrecked in the B main, and he'll be in the I main. That's not good at all for Justin Allgaier to be in the I main. But let's talk about tomorrow a little bit. We got the pole shuffle. I'll go through the rundown of how they drew and how they will go through the pole shuffle. I'll explain the pole shuffle a little bit. Cannon McIntosh will be P1, Justin Grant P2, Kyle Larson P3, Christopher Bell P4, Rico Abreu P5, Tyler Courtney P6, Alex Bright P7, Kyle Cummins P8, Thomas Meserol P9, and Buddy Kofoid P10. So how that will work, the pole shuffle, how this goes for the Chili Bowl, the bottom four, Alex Bright, Kyle Cummins, Thomas Meserol, and Buddy Kofoid will start, and the top two of that will basically grid up to be the second row of Rico Abreu and Tyler Courtney. And then the top two of that 4-car race will basically get behind Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell. They'll race. The top two of that will get behind Cannon McIntosh and Justin Grant. And they'll race, and that'll set up how they start the top 10. So the way that goes is basically it gives a shot to where if Buddy Kofoid, who drew 10th, and now I remind you that the top five are the winners of the prelim nights, and then 6 to 10 are the second place cars. And Tyler Courtney got lucky with the 6th spot, and he'll be higher than the other guys who finished second in the prelim nights. So basically, Buddy Kofoid, he would have to come and win a bunch of races, but he could still be the pole sitter tomorrow night for the A. Same with Thomas Meserol, guys like that. So it basically gives a chance to first and second everyone in the prelims. They're guaranteed to start in the top 10, but basically anybody could be the pole sitter. So that's what the pole shuffle is. And we'll go tomorrow from the O main all the way to the B main. And each of those mains will have 2 of them. So it'll be an O main number 1 and 2, and so on, all the way through the alphabet. So basically we have 10 starters now, and then 7 will be taken out of each of the B mains, which gives you 14. 10 plus 14, 24. We will have 24 starters. No need for a 25th or 26th because Larson and Bell locked in on Tuesday and Thursday. So we will have 24 starters tomorrow in the A main. And man, tonight feels like the night before Christmas. Honestly, tomorrow is going to be so much fun. Waking up at 11 and waking up before 11 obviously and watching the Alphabet Soup. When you're watching this, when this uploads, it'll be 10 a.m. right before the shuffle. I will be doing a live stream tonight at like 9. Right before the A main, I will have it up sometime during the day of what time. So stay tuned for that to have a live reaction. I will not be showing the race on the channel. We will be doing a live reaction. We'll be having a group watch. We'll be discussing it in the chat and a like. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video as well if you enjoyed. This week's content has definitely been a grind, and but I'm happy to bring it to you guys, and I'm happy to be talking about racing once again now in 2021. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.